Alright, my gaggle of goons, I'm back. There's a police officer, but you know what? He's chill. Because this is Newport News, and they don't give a f about speeding because they have bigger problems. But anyways, our topic today is not the strap hitting my glasses from my backpack, but it is this bike right here, the Yamaha R7. Is it a good city bike? If you ask me, I think it's one of the better city bikes, and I'll tell you a few reasons why. So, starting off, it's got to be the motor, the CP2 engine from Yamaha. Now, what you don't get on like a 600 that's really useful in the city is some low-end power, right? This motor's super torquey, has the power, and it happens all throughout the rev band, right? You just get going whenever you need to. And then you can get out of situations just as easy. And so yeah, basically this motor just allows you to kind of have power in any point in the rev range, right? And what this allows you to do is it gives you the power to get around obstacles, get through corners if you need to, and also get out of the way of traffic pretty efficiently. Because nobody wants to sit in this, and even where lane filtering isn't legal, it's still better to get in and out of the lanes whenever you can to get up ahead of things like this truck and this bus that are going to be slower traffic. I mean, yeah, guys, in my experience, I love this bike, mostly because of the motor, and it sounds great, too, especially if you put a pipe on it like I have. I think I'll start talking about my next point, which is going to be the maneuverability of this bike. And there's a few reasons that it's so easy to, like, dip and dive and just, like, kind of move this bike around. The main one of that being the suspension. It's fully adjustable. You got rebound, dampening, stiffness. And then you also have full adjustment over the rear spring as well. So you're really able to take this bike and just make it what you need it to be for like however heavy you are, especially if you're a heavier dude like me and you need to stiffen up the suspension. Another contributor to that is going to be how much this bike weighs. I think it's something like 420 pounds or something. So yeah, this bike is pretty light for the amount of low-end power it gets, and that's something that like you just won't get with the 600. Because the 600, all its power is up in the top end, so it feels a lot more cumbersome to be getting this bike around at low speeds, or I guess a 600, not this bike. Hey, you know, while we're on the topic of suspension as well, we can talk about why the suspension is like this now. So as we all know, the MT-07 shares the exact same motor as this bike, the CP2 motor, as we previously discussed, but it doesn't share the same suspension. A lot of people's complaints and gripes with the MT-07 was that the suspension was super mushy and there was no way to adjust it. So Yamaha really came through and they basically made the MT-07 a sport bike, and they gave us fully adjustable suspension, as you can see here, and then the spring down there. Or yeah, also while I'm conveniently in this empty level of this parking garage, I want to talk about like the aftermarket support and like the ease of modification of this bike, right? You can do whatever you can do whatever you want to this bike, right? Let's just go over some of the stuff I've done, I guess. You know, these frame sliders, obviously they had their use. I need to replace them. But we've also done a whole bunch of stuff. We've done these grips, this throttle tube, we've done these levers, obviously the fairings, and they look beautiful, right? Then also down here we've got this Attack Performance rear set here, and this Toast exhaust. I almost touched that. That would have been horrible. I mean, yeah, this bike is also super easy to do any like coolant or like oil change on. You just gotta take these bottom fairings here off, and you get access to all the drain plugs and the oil plugs and all that stuff. It's super easy to do that. Spark plug, obviously, is a little different. You gotta like take all this stuff off. It's kind of a hassle, right? And I mean, yeah, so continuing on that topic, it's like there's so many different websites and brands that make stuff for this bike. It's like, it's honestly just like an infinite expanse of parts. It's one of those bikes, you know what I mean? So you can like do anything from cheap to really expensive stuff. I'd probably lean closer to the cheap stuff. I made a bunch of expensive stuff, and I realized later I probably didn't need all that. But you know, it is what it is. Your taste is your taste, and you know what? Do what you're gonna do. It doesn't matter.
Making it bounce. Making it bounce. Lead and drop, making it bounce. Making it bounce. Making it bounce. Lead and drop, making it bounce.
All right, and this fourth topic is really probably the least important one, but you know, come on. You want people to look at you, right? You want to look cool while you're riding your fucking bike, right? Like, I'm Batman, right? So, I mean, we got to talk about the looks on this thing, right? Yamaha, they really cooked on this one. I mean, people say R7 stair isn't real, bro. I mean, look at it, bro. Don't worry about that crack in the fairing, but like, look, literally R7 stair, bro. So, I mean, yeah, dude, just look at this thing. The looks on this bike are pretty killer. Like, every time I walk back and I see this bike and I just see it from the front or any angle, I'm like, damn, that looks like a sick-ass bike, dude. I wonder who drives that. Yeah, no. But look, dude, if you're not turning around being like, damn, that's my bike, I'd be driving the wrong bike. Who knows? Alright, everyone. It's a, slightly different day. Audio I recorded for the outro yesterday kind of went to so had to come back and I'm doing it all over again, but here we are. Let's take a little recap about what we talked about. So obviously the first thing we talked about was the engine, right? Just your ability to kind of get in and out of places because you have that low end torque. You just have the power available to you wherever you need it in the rev range, right? Next thing we went on about was the suspension, or not really the suspension. Next thing we talked about was the maneuverability of this bike, right? Because it's light enough and it's got the power everywhere on it, right? You can just kind of dip and swerve this however you need to. And again, I'm sorry if it's a little windy. I tried to turn the gain down a little bit, but we'll see what happens. And then we also talked about how easy it is to work on this bike. I mean, it's a sport bike, right? So it's going to be a little tedious to work on because you got to take off all the fairings, right? But at the end of the day, it's a bike, you know. Most bikes are pretty similar when it comes to how you do the maintenance, right?
I mean, yeah, I was able to basically just tear this bike down with some YouTube tutorials in a day. You know, I was able to take everything off of it and then put it all back on and repair what I needed to as I went, right? So, I mean, it's like anything else, right? How much do you want to work on your own bike, right? The last thing we talked about, I mean, looks, right? I mean, even from the cockpit, like, look, bro, it's like I'm a jet. Right? It's like, especially now that I've done some modification to it because it was so easy, right? It's really mine now. I mean, I guess my triple is a little crooked, so I should probably fix that. But, you know, other than that, I mean, yeah, this bike looks sick, right? Like, every time I look back, I catch myself going, damn. Or like, wow, that looks really good. You know what I mean? Like, literal words that come out of my mouth. And with that, you know, you guys know the drill, right? If you like the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. Hit that dislike button. I know you want to. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. And turn on notifications so you actually do see more. Crazy, right? Anyways, that's it for me. Peace.